Hi everybody, welcome into a special edition of Invicta Watches here on our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel here on Evine. I'm out of breath. I had to run up here from Studio B, but I'm here. And we've got some great watches. We're going to show you 4 amazing watches. I showed, if you happen to be watching our broadcast in the last hour, I brought this watch out and showed it to you briefly. And it was an amazing, amazing. Now, I have $99.99, Mr. Todd. I do. And that's what we showed on our website earlier. Huh. That's what I showed. Mm-hmm. Weird. This is, so he's going to change it. 656-348. We're going to show you 4 amazing Invicta watches today. The first one, we are only down to 1 final color execution, and we're calling this silver tone. The reason that we're calling it silver tone is you're going to see the triple cable. When you hear the term bolt, when it comes to Invicta, 99% of the time, not all the time, there are a couple of bolts out there that are available without that cable around it. Most bolts you're going to find have 1 single cable. They've used the triple cable design on this one. This is only $99.99 at 656-348. And you can either call that number at the bottom of the screen. You can go to evine.com/online live if you want to pick this up. But here's why. We have sold over 800 of these Bolt Sports. And the reason it's called a sport is because of silicone strap, which I'll get into in just a moment. We've sold over 800 of these. 73% off today, $99.99. We have 75 of these remaining. I saw this. They brought the card out to me while I was doing the show last hour. And they showed me this card, and I went, under $100 for this, for one with the triple cable. You can also see this integrated bezel design where the silicone is actually overlapping the triple cable design and holding that watch in place, holding those cables in place. This is a silicone strap. Silicone is a very, very soft rubber material that is going to be so comfortable on your wrist. The only Invicta watch I've been wearing for the last 5 years now has a silicone strap on it because it is extremely comfortable. One other upgrade I do want to mention on this, and by the way, you can see we've sold out of 2 of the 3 executions. We had a rose tone and we had the gold tone. We only had the silver tone cable option remaining. Is that this dial is something a little bit different. Many, many years ago, somebody came up, and I'm sorry, Izzy, thanks for the cloth. I've got my fingerprints on it. Someone came up with a new dial design called carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is simply a very durable, tough, it's used in aeronautics, it's used in a lot of industries today. It is a man-made fiber. And you can see that crisscross design, almost like a chain link design in that fiber. Under $100, under $100, folks, for a bolt in this sport. And by the way, it's also an automatic, by the way, it's the NH35A automatic movement, which means that there is no battery. And one other thing I want to mention, 73% off on that particular one. All right, got the number? 656-348. Let's move on to the Speedway Quartz. And I'll pick this up. We, again, only have one other option in this one. Here's why. Some of these watch prices are crazy nuts, like this one. And the reason that this is a crazy nutty price, and I've got $74.99 on this, there you got it, thanks Todd, is that this is an all stainless steel construction. Now, if this was on a polyurethane strap, or if it's on a silicone strap, or it's on a nylon strap, I'd get the price almost. But the fact that you've got a heavy double link, triple link bracelet on this, which is done in 2-tone, in the brushed silver tone and the polished gold tone, is amazing. All right, here's the watch itself. It's called a Speedway. This is a quartz, and it features the TMI VD54. The TMI VD54 chronograph is going to feature a 24-hour dial at the 3 o'clock, 60-second at the 6 o'clock, and then something that's a little different than most chronographs. At the 9 o'clock, traditionally that would be a 30-minute subdial. In the 50 series, in the TMI VD50 series, whether it's a 54, 57, it's going to have a 60-minute subdial. So you're going to be able to time out those events twice as long as you would with a traditional 30-minute subdial. We have this in the green color. Now we had 4 to choose from, but we have a two-tone bracelet with a green, it's like an emerald green dial. And that's under $75, $74.99. It's a 48 millimeter size, 48 millimeter without the 3 o'clock crown. So if you go from, say, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, you're going to measure about 48 millimeters. What is the size? What does 48 millimeters bring? Let me give you a kind of an idea. You can do one of two things. You can go to evine.com and go to any watch description. At the very bottom of the landing page, you will be able to see a sizing chart, meaning it shows you the different round millimeter sizes, and you can print that out if you want to. The other thing is take a credit card and put it up to your wrist. A credit card is 54 millimeter. So it kind of gives you an idea of the size this watch may be. It's going to be a little less than that. Actually, it's going to be about 54 millimeter. Thank you, Todd. Look at there. There it is. There's your watch sizing chart. And that is at the bottom. There is a link of every watch. Now, they don't do tonneau shapes. They don't do square shapes. They only do the round shape. So, but it still gives you an idea of what goes on as far as sizes. Or, like I said, from here, from the 3 o'clock over to the 9 o'clock with the crown, that's probably more like 54 millimeters, which would be the size of a credit card. You also have a 9-inch circumference on that strap or on that bracelet. Fold over clasp. As you can see, single deployant. And then last, I want to talk about the crystal. It's called a flame fusion crystal that is proprietary to Invicta and to any of the Invicta watches out there. If they have something called a flame fusion crystal, some will have sapphire, some will have mineral, which is glass. This one has flame fusion, which is going to combine the best of both worlds. It's going to be more shock resistant and more scratch resistant at the same time. And that is a proprietary recipe, if you will, for some of the crystals on Invicta watches. Now, the 48 millimeter, again, a good size. If you're wondering what that is in traditional standard, that is going to be approximately 2 inches across. All right, your wrist. So it's a little bit bigger. Oh, and this is 17 millimeters off the wrist. So if you have a metric ruler like I have, you can measure it off the wrist, 17 millimeters. 17 millimeters, by the way, is going to be approximately about less than an inch. A little less than an inch, all right? $74.99, and that is 654,265. They're just getting heavier and heavier here. The next one, another bolt, but this is a little different. Now, the bolt that you're about to see is going to be a single cable around the bezel, but this is a bolt Zeus. So they took the bolt and they added some other features to it, and I'll show you as soon as you see a close-up shot here, I'll show you what the Zeus features are. First of all, the bolt is that single. Then, if you turn it here, there's more of that cable that's integrated into the inside of that entire case. 2 cables on this side, and then you look on the other side, and you've got 3 cables that are independently strewn there on the other side. That would be your bolt Zeus most of the time. There are some bolt Zeuses that we do have. They're vary a little bit. So this is yours now for only $149.99. It's also on 6 value pay. We have $25. And this is going to feature a relatively new chronograph movement. It's a quartz movement, which means it does take batteries. It's called the Ronda Z60. Ronda is the name of the company that makes this watch in Switzerland. And then the Z60 is the model number. When you hear the Z60, what you're getting is a hybrid. At the 3 o'clock, it's a 60-second timer. And that will be your perpetual 60-second hand, because the second hand that you see here in the middle of the watch would be your chronograph 60-second hand. As I will activate that, you'll be able to see that moving right now. Okay, so you have 2 60-second hands on this. The 6 p.m. subdial is a 30-minute, and then something a little different now, the Z60 features a day of the week subdial at the 10 o'clock. So you have a hybrid here. It's a multifunction, and it's a calendar, and it's also a chronograph, all built into the same watch. All right, this is a $600 timepiece. We have it for $149.99. 3 options here. We do have blue and rose tone, but we're only showing you the gunmetal. No, we're showing you which one are we showing you? Which one is this? The gunmetal? Okay. And the reason we're calling it gunmetal is because of the color of the cable. We do have two others, but we have only like one apiece. There's one. I think we have one of those, the rose tone, and we have one in blue, but there's only one of those. One other feature, which I need to mention, is that dial. That dial is mother of pearl. Mother of pearl is it's a natural organic material. It's the inside of the shell of a mollusk, maybe an oyster, for example. So they take the inside of that shell. So when they take that mollusk, the pearls will grow in. It's the home of the pearl, or the mother of the pearl. That's why they call it that. And then they carve out these round dials. You see, there are 3 mother of pearl dials. Each subdial is its own independent mother of pearl, and then you have a large mother of pearl making up the rest of the dial. This is, again, yours for only $149.99, which is crazy. When these Bolt Zeus's first came out, if I am not mistaken, they were around $499. That was my recollection. And I was talking to Ryan Johnson about this. I said, what were the original Bolt Zeus's for? And I thought that's what he said, $499. Let's say it was $399, even so. This one, all stainless construction, gold tone over the case and also over that multi-link bracelet. This, I'm guessing, without weighing it, is going to be close to a pound. This thing is very, very heavy, and it's only $149. Well, I can see why we marked it down. We have only 2 dozen of these watches to go in the gunmetal, and the gunmetal again refers to the cable that is going around this gold tone bezel, under $150. All right, that's number 3. We have one more to show you, and I hope you're shopping, especially for that very first Bolt Zeus we had for 99 bucks. That's below a steal. That's better than a steal. All right, one more. This is an aviator bolt. Now, this is one of those items where I said not all bolts are going to have a chain around it or a cable, and this is one of them. But it still has a lot of the DNA that you would see in some of the Bolt Invictas that we have available. This one is also only $99.99. I'll hold one up like this, and then you can see the other one. This one we're calling blue. This one we're calling gunmetal. Now, this is not a carbon fiber dial. It looks like that from a distance, but if you look, it's more of a chain link or like a chain fence texture on the dial. Excuse me. This is also a chronograph, but it's also a little different because there are only 2 subdials as opposed to 3 on this one. This is a TMI VD51. So you've got 60-second on the top and 60-minute subdial on the bottom, but you can see why they call this the flight series. In a cockpit of an airplane, there are basically 6 extremely important dials that you will have, even if you're in a private plane or a 2-person plane. The one that has the hand that looks kind of like the airplane is called the heading indicator, and that's what this reminds me of. When you see that second hand that Todd is pointing to right there, you can see the yellow plane design that's at the end of the chronograph second hand. So this is a very busy dial, and when it's busy like this, when it has other functions other than just simple time, it's called a complicated dial. Not a difficult to understand, but meaning there's more complications than just the 3 hands of the second, the minute, and the hour. This again is a great price for many, many reasons. First of all, it's that TMI VD51 movement, and the fact that this is very heavy because you have multi-links on this stainless steel bracelet. Very nice and heavy. This is also going to have a single deployant as opposed to a double, so it's just a simple fold over. Let me show you here. Fold over, lock it down, and that's how you deploy that. Now, if you need to, on any of the Invicta stainless steel bracelets, or even the titanium bracelets, you can take links out. There is a sizing toolkit. Todd, I don't know if you have that available. Thank you. I don't even need to say it anymore. There is an Invicta toolkit that if you learn how to use this, you can save a ton of money by sizing your own stainless steel link bracelets on these Invicta watches or any other watches. But again, you got to kind of like learn how to do, but it's not that difficult. I've done one with this toolkit in my life. We got about a minute left on this. 657919 is your item number on this. Now, I've been holding up the blue, but let me switch it over here to the gunmetal. Show you what that looks like real quick. And there's your gunmetal. It's also going to have that yellow airplane at the tip of that second hand too. Now that's a chronograph second hand. And then the dial is very easy, very again intricate, because it's like a chain link fence that has been cut out in a circle, and you put it on the top of the dial. You layer it over the top of the dial. All right, this is 657919. So we've had four really great watches here. Everything's been on value pay too. We really appreciate it. And I'm sorry I have not been chatting here. Eric, thank you. Adam, thank you for joining us. Bob, I've seen Bob on Facebook. Zeus, yeah, the Bolt Zeus fit, great for being a large watch. Chess Rabbit, thank you for joining us. That is a very cool watch. Thank you for your comments here on this YouTube and Facebook. Then we have a whole other page we do a show too, but I've been watching YouTube today. So, all right, last look at this one. We also have that Bolt. I just want to give you that number real quick for the Bolt Sport. 99 bucks for that. That is a steal. 656348. Thank you for joining me. It was very nice. Love doing Invicta shows, so we appreciate you being out there, and I'll see you again soon.